Facebook. It's me, Chantain. Well, I'm actually preparing some dinner, and I'm gonna do some turkey wings, and I wanted to make some eggs I've got boiling here. I'm gonna make some deviled eggs and some corn on the cob, and then I've got just a little bit of string beans left over, and they are frozen. These string beans are actually frozen, and they're gonna go in this container because I'm going to steam them in the rice cooker. So what I like to do is just take them just like that, and they are frozen string beans, and the fact that they're frozen is perfectly fine. Actually, the little bit of water that's on them will help with moisture, and I want them to be, you know, nice and plump and flavorful and not get dried out. I have some olive oil here, and I'm not going to use nowhere near all of that. Just a teeny drop. Just a teeny drop of that olive oil. And basically, I just use the olive oil to oops. That's a cooking away. I want to coat my greens so that my seasoning will stick. And I would do this whether they were frozen or not. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of spice to them. And this is one of my favorite spices. It is one of my spices from down at Myrtle Beach at the Paula Deen store. So I go ahead and add that. I always put that there in case I spill it. So now I kind of just go over them like that, and they've got a beautiful little coating of a flavor on them. There you go. And then I put them right in this little steamer container. And over in my rice cooker, I have some rice. I'm gonna do a parboiled rice because with the turkey wings, I'm gonna do a brown gravy. So get to have a turkey wing with a nice brown gravy. And there's the beautiful string beans. Like I always say, if it looks good raw, it'll definitely taste good cooked. So these are gonna go right over here, and I'm gonna step away just a moment. I like to use my rice cooker on flash rice. I like to use my rice cooker on flash rice because I can get everything done. Doesn't take a long time at all, and it's not overcooked. It's kind of like it gets it just right for me. So I'll go ahead and move that out of the way. And the rest of that olive oil I'll be using on the turkey wings. So I have some beautiful turkey wings here. I've already cleaned them off. They're nice and clean, and I cut the tips away from the bones. So this is actually just 3 wings, but look at the size of these wings. They are just gorgeous. They're already nice and clean and cut. And 3 wings can feed quite a few people, especially if you cook them down and kind of chop up and break up the meat. Same concept. I go ahead and take my little olive oil, and I'll sprinkle a little bit on both sides. This is going to help the seasoning stick to the meat, but it's also going to help seal in the flavor and help keep the meat from sticking to the bottom of the pan. So I'll go ahead and put my little bit of olive oil on there, and I typically don't use all of it then either, but you get quite a bit because the flavor from the turkey wings and the juices from the turkey wings will also come out while they cook. I'm gonna add a couple of different seasonings that I like. And like I don't typically cook with a lot of salt because the type of spices that I like to use have enough flavor in them that I don't have to go to a salt shaker per se. So I'll go ahead and put that right on there. There we go. And then I want to add just a little teeny bit of this nice little poultry seasoning. It's a poultry. And then I have some dried shallots and leeks. But what I'm going to do is get right in here and mix this around and get it on every piece. Because it looks like it's a lot, but then when you actually move it around on the meat, you'll see that it's not really that much. Staying away from high sodium is very important. Salt is not always friendly to us, everyone. Especially, you know, getting a little older, salt is not so friendly for us. But I'll take them and I typically just go around and get them seasoned. You can, if you want to, cut and go up under the skin if you really want season, or you can even inject them just like you would your other pieces of turkey. Then I would go ahead and turn them on the back. And the reason why is because I want to cook them on the front. And that way I can see, do I need a little bit more? Okay. And then I want to add my shallots and leeks. But before I do, I don't want to forget, like I almost just forgot, my onion. I've got an onion that I already chopped, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that in. Almost forgot my onion. I don't know what I would have done with all that onion, y'all. I've got a couple of onions that I need to cook up, so there's those. And keep me a nice little cloth. Clean my hands in between. And this is the shallots and leeks, which is essentially a bunch of really beautiful spices. They're just dried. They're dried, fresh spices. They're dried, they're just chopped up. And so it just adds a lot of flavor without me having to do all of the chopping. And then I'll take them and turn them over. And having them laid on that nice bed of onions is gonna keep them nice and juicy. I've got a little bit more onions left. Go ahead and add that last little bit, because outside of this I really don't have a use for them. And I'm gonna add a little bit more on this side of the shallots and leeks. I love using this spice. And these shallots and leeks, you can get them at your grocery store, but I actually got these. At a department store in the cooking section. Only thing about getting stuff like that is it's nice to go to the cooking section, but when you get there, if you don't go ahead and get what you're going to get at one time, you may come back and it may all be sold out, because a lot of ladies do the same thing. They go to the pots and pans section or the home decor section and they get their spices there, because you can get spices that you might not see anywhere else. And there they are. Those are seasoned. So now what I'm gonna do, rinse my hands right quick, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of water right over here in the corner. and kind of let it seep up under the meat. And I like to do it this way because if you just pour your liquid over the meat, you're going to pour all of the seasoning off of your food. It's going to rinse it right off. You can use a chicken stock, a beef broth, whatever you want to use. I'm going to use a little water just to coat the bottom of the pan, but I don't want it to wash the seasoning and the flavor off the meat, or else it'll all be at the bottom of the pan, and then the turkey wings will taste very bland. I have my oven already set and preheated, and I'm going to go ahead and cover up these turkey wings and let them bake down. And I'll bake them probably for an hour or two. Just depends on how tender I want them. I kind of want them tender on the inside but a little crisp on the outside. I like a nice crispiness to the turkey skin, and then after it's nice and crispy, when I add the gravy to it, it's more substantial and it can hold up better. Then the skin won't be mushy. So that's the goal. These are going to go into the oven. I'm going to be making some deviled eggs, and we've got some corn on the cob, and we're still finishing up on that cake over there. We've got some rice and some fresh string beans. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye-bye.